In today's gospel, Jesus sends the disciples to preach the kingdom, to cure those who had diseases, and also to cast out evil spirits. In the Gospel of Luke, twice does Jesus send out the disciples. The first time, a group of 12. The second time, a group of 72. Today, Jesus is sending out the 12 in the first mission. And he gives them a very particular indication, right? He says, take nothing for the journey, neither walking stick, nor sack, nor food, nor money. He tells them to take no provisions with them. So, what's the problem with taking provisions? What's the problem if you're going to make a journey, to prepare some money and to prepare some food? Imagine that you were going camping and someone told you, take no provisions for camping. One would ask, why do we have to make things harder than they already are? What's the problem with making provisions? But I think that there is an interesting insight when Jesus gives them this condition. And you know what is the insight? The more you are invested in the mission of Jesus, the more you give yourself completely to the mission of Jesus, the greater you can have the certainty that God will take care of you. Let me repeat this because it is very important. The more your life is invested completely in the mission of Jesus, the greater the certainty you can have that He will take care of you. Think about it. The apostles were investing their whole life in this mission. They were going to live 24/7 for the mission. They were going to preach, they were going to heal, they were going to cast out spirits. They had nothing else in their agenda. They were invested 100% in the mission of Jesus. Because they were invested 100%, they had the certainty that the Lord will take 100% care of them. So, the challenge or the encouragement I want to make to you is invest 100% of your life in the mission that Jesus has for you. Give yourself completely to whatever God has in store for you. And you can have the peace in your mind that you will know that if you invest 100%, the Lord will take 100% care of you. A couple of weeks ago, I went to celebrate a Mass with the missionaries of Net Ministry. In Peru, we don't have Net Ministry. It was my first experience with these young missionaries. And I was impressed because they were going to live the mission 100% for a whole year. They were going to move from house to house, just like the disciples. And just like the apostles 2,000 years ago, today, just like the missionaries of Net Ministries, we are also called to invest 100% of our lives in the mission and having the certainty that we will be taken care of. I want to finish with this quote. I think that in Spanish it works better, but in English we can still understand it. And the quote goes like this: those who put everything in God's hand will see God's hand in everything. Again, those who put everything in God's hands, they will see God's hands in everything. So I challenge you today, let us invest 100% of our lives in our mission so we can have 100% of trust that He will take care of us.